And good evening. We are coming on the air with breaking news right now out of the Middle East. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth saying that the Pentagon has just launched retaliatory strikes on ISIS targets in Syria in response to an attack that killed American troops last weekend. I want to get straight to our senior national security correspondent, Courtney Kube, who joins us live. Courtney, again, these were in retaliation for that ambush attack that happened on those two National Guard troops from Iowa.
Yeah, that's right. Just about a week ago, we heard that news, the ambush near Palmyra, which is in central Syria. It's not too far from where the U.S. actually has a military garrison there in southern Syria known as Atan. But Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth today announcing via social media the beginning of what he called Operation Hawkeye Strike. It's an effort to eliminate additional ISIS locations throughout Syria. Now, the types of locations that they're going to hit in these sorts of operations would be infrastructure. So places where ISIS will store their weapons, where they potentially will build things like drones, potentially even places where they will conduct training. Remember, the ISIS presence is not the same as it was a decade ago. It is much more disparate, is much more spread out. They don't have large locations that would be an obvious target point, but Central Command, the regional military command that owns Syria and owns that whole area for the United States military, they always have options for strikes like these. President Trump, in literally the hours after that attack last Saturday, came out and said that he planned to retaliate, and he planned to retaliate big. The U.S. military launching that. The big question now is how and when or will ISIS respond? And I think that is what will dictate whether this Operation Hawkeye Strike ends today or whether it continues for a matter of days or even weeks, Tom.
But Courtney, these initial strikes are not just one and done, right? It seems to be a little bit more widespread than we thought.
It is. I mean, it's the similar kind of locations and targets that we would expect in something like this. So, again, infrastructure, weapons caches, that sort of thing. But the big question now is, were they able to get all of the locations that they wanted to target here? I'm told that this is multiple U.S. military platforms that were involved in this, different types of fixed-wing aircraft and helicopters and military assets. The question is, though, if ISIS hits back at the American presence there, then we definitely we should expect to see continued retaliation from the United States. Based off of the social media posts that we've already seen out of Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, it does not appear that this is something that he will let go if ISIS hits back.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.